Hey everybody, how's it going? Welcome back. My name's Chris, and this is the Daily Reflections with Chris, where we talk about recovery, inside and outside of the rooms. Maybe 12-step program, maybe go to church, maybe go to therapy, maybe you just have really great conversations with your friends that help you become a better person, if that's what you want to do. For the purpose of this video and this YouTube channel is to talk about recovery with using the Daily Reflections as our guide. And the Daily Reflections is a book of reflections for people in recovery by people in recovery, right? In this case, it's alcoholism, but it could be used for anything: drug addiction, codependency, overeating, sex addicts. Well, sex addicts is a slightly different beast, but it's getting to the root of the cause of why it is that that we continue to damage ourselves, or to drink alcoholically, or to use drugs, right? Yeah. So, okay, let's go back. I'm not immune to this stuff, folks. This is a one day at a time program for me. Every day is a day when I must, be conscious of that. If the thought comes that, hey, it might be a good idea for me to go have a drink. I'm off today. I get the whole day. Let's day drink or whatever. But it's great. I wish I could do that, but the truth is, for me, I can't do that because something happens to me when I put a drop of alcohol in my body that doesn't happen to normal drinkers, that doesn't happen to other people. Like my body reacts totally different. It's like my friend who got stung by a bee, or my coworker, right? They got stung by a bee a couple weeks ago, and I don't know, her EpiPen didn't work. Another EpiPen didn't work. She went to emergency room. They had to put a tube down her throat because her throat was closing up from the allergic reaction she had to the bee sting. So that's what happens to me when I drink. But this disease is the only disease that tells you don't have a disease. So even though I know that if she knows bees, if she gets stung by a bee, she stays away from bees. This boy right here, he knows where alcohol will take him, but he don't stay away from it. Not on his own power. He needs help. So, I didn't know any better. I wouldn't stay away from what was killing me, and I would continue to consume it to the day it almost did, to the day it still wants to. It still does. It can still take me there if I'm not, for my recovery, continuously working on what keeps me away from that. And what keeps me away from that is living a better life, being a better person. Little things like that are what, changing some of the thoughts in my head. My boss told me, I was having a conversation with my boss about how a coworker was acting towards me, and she's like, don't let it get to you. You can't anymore because you're moving up, and you can't, little stuff like that. You really got to brush it off. And I needed that reminder, right? But then she calls me like 30 minutes later, and she's like, dude, you're totally wrong. And I said, what? She's like, yeah, man, you need that reader you have, you need to work on it. And I said, you know what? I'm just going to throw it away. I'm just going to stop trying to read people and their actions and their comments, and just choose to do it different today. So anyways, little things like that continue to improve my lifestyle, my life, the way that I get to coexist with other people. I love that. I love that I get to do things differently every day, every moment. So here we are. It's January the 2nd, and let's get started. The title of today's entry, it says, First, the Foundation. Is sobriety all that we can expect of a spiritual awakening? No, sobriety is only a bare beginning. And that's out of As Bill Sees It, page 8. Practicing the AA program is like building a house. First, I had to pour a big, thick concrete slab on which to erect the house. That to me was the equivalent of stopping drinking. But it's pretty uncomfortable living on a concrete slab, unprotected and exposed to the heat, cold, wind, and rain. So I built a room on the slab by starting to practice the program. The first room was rickety because I wasn't used to the work. But as time passed, as I practiced the program, I learned to build better rooms. The more I practiced and the more I built, the more comfortable and happy was the home I now have to live in. My God. Now he's describing the building of a home because it's practical, right? A lot of people understand the work it takes to build a home, whether you're a home builder, a realtor, a home owner. Maybe you see buildings go up in your neighborhood all the time. You see the work that it takes. They sometimes they gotta go down first, and they make that all nice and pretty, right? It takes a lot of work. It's gotta be right. Any little mistake in the math can just like totally collapse, like a 10-story building. I mean, it happened to the Tower of America. So if you know what I'm talking about, look it up. They messed up on the math, and that thing almost fell down. So anyway, in San Antonio, Tower of America is in San Antonio. So so they're using that example because it's practical. It's something we understand, and it's something that could help us, right? And in this example, it's talking about a home, but it's really talking about our lives, the lives that we are now building. What do we got to do first? Well, the first thing we got to do is stop drinking, like stop putting that stuff in my body, right? If I don't want to get drunk, then I shouldn't drink. That's simple. That's simple. If I don't drink, I'm not going to get drunk, right? That's simple. That's the definition of being drunk, is to consuming enough alcohol that makes you lose everything. Not everything for everybody. I'm just saying, like, your reaction times are slower. You really have little or no control over your body. So you're falling down, you're throwing up, all that stuff. It's not like, for some people like me, I couldn't just drink and be like, okay, I'm gonna drink, but I'm not getting a hangover this week or tonight. I could never not get a hangover. I had a hangover every morning excuse me. Every morning after the night that I drank, I had a hangover. Man, I do not miss hangovers. I hate hangovers. It would feel like I had a ton of bricks in my head and I couldn't lift my body. And I would always tell myself, God, I wish I could just drink but not have hangovers. Oh man, they just brought so much pain to my body. So anyway, it wasn't enough to keep me from not drinking, but that's what it used to be like for me. Right, so the first thing is to just stop drinking, stop putting the substance in my body. And the second is to start the building of the house, right? And it made a really good point here. It says, it was rickety because I wasn't used to the work. Man, you know how many times I hear people say, oh, I want to be that guy, I want to be that girl, I want to have that job, but I'm willing to put the work in. Like, it takes work, people. It takes effort. When I think about all the work and all the effort I put into getting high, into getting drunk, man, I was unstoppable. Like, oh my God, I was that guy who was just like knocking in the windows, knocking on the doors. Hey. I mean, these dealers were like in bed with their family. I mean, not every dealer is a drug addict, right? And they were in bed with their family, and they're like, dude, it's fucking 3 a.m. What do you want? Like, oh, just give me just a little bit more. Come on, this is the last one. I won't bother you no more. Just a little bit more. And they're like, okay, but you better not come back. And I'll be like, okay, I won't come back. And they'll give it to me. They're like, where's the money? I was like, I ain't got none. Whoo! And I would just like run. I would just like run away from the house. And I'd be like, oh, I'm going to get you. You wait, I'm going to get you. And now they're all miserable. And I'm over there, getting my neck high. And then I'll come back like an hour later. Hey. They're like, man, what do you want? It's 3:30 in the morning. Like, just one more. Come on, just one more and I won't bother you. Just give me just a little bit more. You better have money. I'm like, no, I do have money. Look. And I will show them, I'll fold it up $20 bill. I'll be like, look. And they're like, all right, give the money. And they'll take it. And then I'll get the drugs and I'll run. I would run because I would have to run before they found out that wasn't a real, either it wasn't a real $20 bill or it was only half a $20 bill. Like, I was that guy. Like, it got that bad, folks. Man, I never, as a kid, I never thought that I would be that person. As a matter of fact, I would aim to be total opposite that. I mean, like, I was seriously going this way. Like, I don't want to have anything to do with drugs. I don't want to have anything to do with alcohol. I don't want to have anything to do with wife beating. I don't want to have anything to do with unsuccessful. I mean, like, I was like, I'm going to go opposite. And folks, I became that person. I just became that person. I used to think it's not going to happen to me. It's not going to happen to my family. It's not going to happen to my nieces. Folks, it happened to me. It happened to my family, and it happened to my nieces. I'm not exempt from this. See, alcoholism and drug addiction, they don't care how much money you make. They don't care where you're born. They don't care the color of skin. They don't even care about your hopes and your dreams and your desires. This thing cuts into your body and it consumes your mind. It screws up your brain. It talks to you in ways to convince you that you need more and that your body cannot be without it. And then your body gets so used to it, you can't think anything different. It really took an act of God. For me, an act of a higher power is something that totally come into me and just be like, come on, one more day. We're going to get you this one more day. So that was the beginning of the work. For me, it was not so much writing anything down. It wasn't so much getting on my knees. It wasn't so much talking to other people, making YouTube videos in the beginning. It was just about, okay, 1, don't put the drink in my body. 2, go to my meetings. 3, sit down and listen. 4, I didn't even buy the literature right away. 4 was keep coming back. That's it. Start being a part of slowly but surely. And then after a while, after being in the program for like 2 or 3 months, that's when I said, okay, I want to try this. I want to try to not drink. I want to try this. I'm really tired of the life that I'm living, man. I was just like, I was still drinking. I was still going to meetings. I was still going to probation. Scared that they were going to drug test me because I was still smoking pot. All that stuff. It was, it was intense for me. It was really consuming a lot of my energy, my mind, my efforts, everything. So I started doing the work, right? And then it says as time passed, it got the house, the rooms got better, bigger, sturdier, stronger, more of what I wanted, and not more and less of what I was given, right? Because by that time, as time passes, I have more tools, I have more suggestions, I've been to more meetings, I have more sobriety, I have more clarity of the mind. My brain started working. My heart started opening up. It went from dark black to gray to pink with the lock on it to pink to red. And I was like red, and it's like boom, 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 blah, 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 blah. It's like red, and it's going, it's fire. It's like, it's like love. Like, it really, this program, the more that I put into it, the more that I could, right? Because, honestly speaking, I say, the more I put into it, I can't always give. My 100% today is different than the 100% I gave yesterday. And it may be different than the 100% that I give it tomorrow. Do I want it to be less? No, but we don't know what tomorrow brings, right? So I just give it the 100% that I have right now to give. And sometimes it looks like just showing up to a meeting. Sometimes I have those days where it's just not about picking up, It's just about not picking up. I'm back at the building the concrete. That's like, look, I've been sober for a while. I had a really hard day. And today I just need to sit here and not drink. Not drink alcohol. Even if I don't do nothing else, just don't drink. And then once I can get past that feeling, that emotion, the heartache, the disappointment, and I'm gonna, the longer I stay here, the easier it is to get past them. The shorter times I'm there spending, wallowing over this stuff, get back up and I go. It took some work. It took the 12 steps. It took ambition. It took a lot of things for me to get back to where I am right now, which is better than I've ever been in my whole entire life. This is the best version of me that I have ever seen, that in my life. So, so the longer that I stay here, the more that I apply this program to my life, the easier it's getting. My house is really nice. I'm not talking about, I mean, my house, my apartment is kind of cute, right? But what I mean is like my program, my life is really, really nice. I'm still building a lot of things, making sure the roof don't cave in. I want to put some landscaping, you know, I want to do other things. I want to try other things, maybe paint it, maybe reconstruct it. You know, now that the foundation is there, I can build and rebuild and tear down and bring it back up as many times as I need to. Right? I got here and I was convinced that I had a problem, but I wasn't totally convinced that I could never drink again. I went back out the second time, found out, oh, no. I gotta get back in. This thing is gonna kick my butt. It ruined my family. First drink I took, after 3 years of being sober, I lost my family almost immediately. I lost their trust. And then, and I mean, back then, my immediate family, you know, not like, I mean, the family that I was in, you know, my partner, the children that we were watching, that went, you know, she could no longer trust me. So the relationship got really rocky, really, really, really rocky. And we ended up going through a really hard breakup. The children suffered for it. You know, we both suffered from it too. But I still had my family, you know, my aunts and my uncles, grandma, grandpa, my mother. I still had my sister, my 2 nieces were still young. So I still had them. But that family that I was living with, it got really messed up. So then later on, so I said, man, I better go back. I need to go back to what works, right? So I came back to Alcoholics Anonymous, and I did it. I did really, really good. But somewhere along the way, I just stopped working. You know, I was telling you how that the program works, but I wasn't really applying it to my life. And I moved to Austin and got a really nice job and got really comfortable, drank again, and then realized, man, this stuff is gonna kill me. Like this last time that I drank, I was like, man. A disclaimer, I need to say a disclaimer. So the stuff that I share with you is stuff that I experienced, right? I'm not for suicide. Actually, I'm totally anti-suicide. I'm not for that way out. I just want to say that, right? So this last time when I was laying there in my bed, and you know, I was going to meetings every day and picking up a Desire chip, and they're like, all right, Chris, we got this, you got this. And I picked up a few chips in my home group, and then I was so embarrassed. I started going to other groups. They're like, all right, Chris. And I started getting off on that. People are like, all right, Chris, you got that, you got that. All the hugs I was getting, all the attaboys. And I started getting off on that. But then I would leave those meetings and I'd go drink. And I remember one morning I woke up laying there in my bed, Sunday morning, and be like, fuck, I cannot drink. I want to stop drinking and I cannot. And I was laying there in my bed, and I thought, for the first time ever in my life, this thought came to me. I totally get why people kill themselves. And in that moment, man, I swear God comes through just when I need him to, because in that moment, I had another experience where I cannot explain what happened. My body got up from that bed and it went to the first meeting, the only new meeting I knew about. I hated everybody there, but I went over there to that meeting and I said, okay, in my mind, right? I mean, I didn't know nobody there. I didn't like the meeting. I didn't know nobody there. I just went over there, and in my mind, I said, okay, God, I'm gonna try this program again, and I'm gonna give me a sponsor and whatever, and I'm gonna do this program, all 12 steps. And I'm going to do whatever he tells me to do. If he tells me I got to call him every day, I'm going to call him every day. If he tells me I got to get on my knees and do this third time, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do this program 110%. And even when I think I can't give it anymore, I'm going to give it more. I'm going to put that up. One more person on my forehead. I'm going to tell him one more thing on my fist. I'm just going to keep going and going and going. I'm going to pray for God to remove one more of my defects. And I'm going to just keep going and going. And I'm just going to carry this message to one more alcoholic. And if I do this program to the 150th percent and I still want to go drink, then I'm going to say, okay, I've already tried it. I gave it all. This program does not work for me. And I'm going to go back to drinking. And that's what I said to myself. I committed that to myself. Because I was out of options. I was out of ideas. I was out of hope. And then it's been 5 years. It's been 5 years since I made that commitment. God. I can't even begin to describe how wonderful my life is right now. It's really, really good. It's really, really peaceful. Is there more things that I'm still working towards? Yeah. I always talk about that because it's true for me. I still want to get married. I still want a family. I still want to own my own home. I still want a career, my job. I still want money in the bank. There's things I still want that I don't have. But the life that I have today, if you would have told me 20 years ago, this is what it was going to be like, I wouldn't believe you. I wouldn't believe you that I have 2 chihuahuas laying there on the couch asleep. Because I'm a cat person. But I do have 2 dogs that I love them so much. And so this life is different. And it's not just for me, it's for everybody. It's for anybody who wants this. Anybody who wants this program or any other 12 steps, if anybody wants to go out and help themselves to have a better life, this is for you. It's for everybody. It's not just for alcoholics. It's not just for drug addicts. It's not just for codependent people. It's not just for, I don't know. It's for anybody who wants it and is willing to do the work. You can have it too. Anybody can. Yesterday day before yesterday on New Year's Eve, I met this guy and he was up there, and it's like, you can go up to the podium and share your experience drinking hope, and there's a whole bunch of people there, and this guy said, he's like, I'm not an alcoholic. I'm not a drug addict. And we're like, well, what are you doing here, right? This is like a 12. Singleness of purpose. If you don't know what that is, look it up. So that's why we were like, what are you doing here? And he says, but I did what y'all did. He was a DJ, and he would say, I will leave my family with no tortillas, no beans, no rice, no carne, so I could be buying my CDs, so that I could go to the club and play the music, and that I could watch everybody dance. He got off on that. That was his thing, and he would sacrifice everything to do that thing. So folks, don't get it twisted. I get it. You really want to do that? Go do it. But when you do it at the expense of the happiness of your family, the happiness of your wife, the happiness of you, when you're doing it because the boys want you to do it, because it looks good. This is beyond peer pressure. This is like the kind of pressure that only an act of God can take away from you. So this healing process, it's for everybody. People at church are doing the 12-step recovery program. We call it 8 steps, but it's the same 12 steps. It's the same steps. It's the same process. It's the same healing process, right? So folks, if you're out there, I just want to say, if you're still listening, thank you for your time. Or even if you're not, who cares? Thank you for your time. Thank you for tuning in. I hope that I bless somebody. If maybe this video is not for you, right? But maybe you think somebody in your family or your friends or in your Fab Five or your Facebook. Hey, so you think this video can help somebody? Share it. You can share it anonymously. You don't have to say you know me. You don't have to say you're my friend. You don't have to say you're in the program if you are. Maybe you're not. Maybe you're just like to listen to me talk for 24 minutes. I don't know. Maybe it helps you. So if it does, share it with somebody. If you want to like it, that'll be cool too. So for those of you who are watching, like, share, watch, like, share. But till then, I'm gonna like it. I'm gonna share it, and I guess we'll see you again soon. Thank you for your time. I love you all. God bless y'all. May you have the most beautiful, most wonderful, most revealing, uphealing, most I don't even know if that's a word. Upward healing, uphealing. Anyway, I don't know what it is. But I hope that you have a day full of miracles. That you get your mind blown today. And we'll see you again soon. Thank you. Bye.